Hey, hi, welcome to Above Life channel. The purpose here is to inspire your spirit and to fill you with hope. This is our weekly Monday live streaming video. Nice to see you. This is the first of a month. The energy on the first of a month is a fresh start, a new beginning, a reset. However, when I'm recording this, it is April 1st, which means yesterday, 2024, it was Easter, which has all sorts of vibes for all sorts of people and all sorts of different lands and practices, we'll say it that way. And so there's a lot with that still coming in and coming through. And we're in between two eclipses, just started eclipse season. If you follow that stuff, apparently there's a lot of solar flares. My good friend had mentioned to me this morning when we were having our chat that there's a lot of solar flares. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, now that makes sense. And then also there is a major eclipse on April 8th, which is 1 week from today. So there's a lot of energy. And you and I, we're empathic, and we're going to harness this 2024 year of the empath, as I am in devotion to that, to pass along energy, tools, strategies, and information to you that can help you navigate this crazy, sensitive, sweet, beautiful, heart-based world that you and I can coexist in. And the world needs us right now to be our heart-based selves. And it is hard to be your heart-based self because you feel naked in a snowstorm. I get it. So let me give you a jacket, a warm, fuzzy coat to wear. And actually today I have this really warm and fuzzy new little cardigan that I put on because it just felt good. So this kind of sensory energy, these kind of sensory, simple sensory things are exactly what we need right now. The simple things, the simple sensory things. All right. So today's topic is truth and lies. Yes, it is that black and white. And it's also everything in between and nothing. Wow, I'm so mystic today. I actually am. I'm coming off a bender for the last 5 days of a lot of spiritual downloads for me personally and my growth and development. I'm so happy to be able to have those experiences for myself and then pass along the energy of what is uplifting and helping me to ascend just by showing up in my presence to be fully embodied. And so here, and now, you and I connecting in this beautiful empathic space, safe and sacred space here on Above Life channel on YouTube. Okay. I do my best to be in a state where you can feel like your authentic self and you can have experiences through your sensory systems, through your heart, feeling, and then beginning to build some trust with your heart, with what you're sensing. You can practice that here, practice it here. Okay. All right. So truth and lies. It's a bit of a soap opera, isn't it? Well, I just mentioned all the crazy stuff energetically that's going on. So yes, it is a bit of a soap opera. And with that, ooh, we got some talking to do. We're going to start fun. Okay, we're going to start off with some fun today. Since it's April Fool's Day, we're going to play with that mystic magic. I actually wrote it down. We're going to play a game. Have you ever heard of the game Two Truths and a Lie? Have you heard of that before? Let me just check here to make sure that I am. We got to check the sound quality to make sure that I'm on here and that you all can see me. Here we are. Oh, good. Here we are. Hi. Hey, I know I'm a little bit after 10. I try to get about 10 a.m. Central Time on Mondays. Start our week out right. Okay, let's talk and see. Right. Oh, good. Yay. Okay, we got it. Yay. All right. So we're going to play a game. Remember that two truths and a lie? So I'm going to share a couple of things with you, and I want you to feel into what you think is the myth. I'm going to share some things about my life with you, and I want you to feel and sense what is true, what is actually true, and it's going to be easier because when you're practicing your intuitive spidey senses, it'll be easy. These are easy because they're based on past experiences, things that I've done or have potentially done or gotten close to doing. So I want you to be able to trust your gut on this one, like really trust your gut. Okay. All right, my dears, are you ready? So the theme is ride. Ride. I thought that was appropriate given the energy of the day and of this time, right? Okay. Ooh. All right. So the theme is rides. These are things that I may or may not have had rides in. Okay. Ready? All right. So there's three things. So ground and center yourself. Try not to cheat. Like, don't want maybe watch me to see if I have any kind of, well, you can, I guess. You can watch me for nonverbal cues or listen to my voice. That would be a good one because that's a sensory thing. That's not a physical, tangible thing as far as like I see that, that's evidence of. But if you listen to my voice, you might be able to sense and feel if it's true or not true. Okay, if it actually has happened or hasn't happened. So that's the thing. So has it happened or has it not happened? Okay. Feel into your belly, drop into your heart space, trust your heart, okay, and trust your belly to feel into what is true. Okay, so this is the question. What is true? Okay, so if it helps, close your eyes. Ah, nice breath in, exhale out, feel into your body. All right, so you're reading me through the energy of what I'm sharing. What is true? Is this true? And then you feel a yes or a no. You feel an expansion or a nothing. You feel some energy or you feel nothing. Okay. What is true? Is this true? Yes or no? Something or nothing? All right. Trust your body. Trust your senses. Ready? Okay. Here we go. Got a hair on me. Ooh, ooh, okay. Sorry to distract you. Okay. Okay, get ready. Okay, all right. I have ridden in a helicopter. I have ridden in a helicopter. Feel that. Okay. Next one. I have ridden in a police car. I have ridden in a police car. Feel that. And last one. I have ridden in a snowplow. I have ridden in a snowplow. Feel that. Okay. You feel that? Okay. All right. So, this is an exercise for you to go ahead and listen to those things again if you're watching the replay and feel into which is true, okay, and which is not true or potentially not true, okay? All right, so that's just an activity, an exercise. I'm testing. I'm not testing. I'm giving you an opportunity to feel into your senses and your sensory system to see what feels true for you. So now I'm not going to tell you about this right now. You're going to have to skip to the very end of the video and I'll tell you, okay, the responses for that. I'll tell you the answers. Very rarely in psychic work are there concrete answers. Okay. There is in psychic work the ability to sense into the person and feel what they want and what their desire is for an outcome, what their desire is for the results, what their desire is for an answer. So you can read somebody and read what their answer is, what they want you to say. So it is very tricky and sticky in psychic work because as empaths, you have to be so aware of your pillar of light, your alignment within yourself, your personal sensory system, so that you can tell then what's true and what's just wanting to be true. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not that people are lying. Well, you might say sometimes people really do lie to themselves. I do. I have all sorts of excuses or reasons or rationales for things that I don't do or that I do that really might not be fully accurate or true. In fact, most things are made up or wrapped up in some kind of story about something. That is the human nature. That is the human life experience. That is our mind wrapping around some energy that we gained from some relationship or exchange or observation of something that we saw. It doesn't have to be a traumatic thing. It can just be something that sticks, and we might not even be conscious of it. So let me tell you this. When I was doing psychic work early on, I used to get really frustrated, especially when I was trying to do normal people human work, because I worked in HR, human resources, and I would sit in an interview or a meeting, or even just a meeting, okay, meeting with the other higher ups, and I could see the double head. So I could see the person talking, and then I could see their double head, like their higher self, their spirit self, also talking. And I could tell when they weren't in sync or in alignment, when they were telling me something that either they did not believe to be true or something they wanted to be true but wasn't. There was a disconnect. Okay. There was a disconnect between what was and what what they are perceiving or wanting. And so it was a double head kind of thing. So I literally would see their head, but it wouldn't be above. Like, I've talked about this before when I see the higher self of people sometimes, and I feel it too, like a hoodie. It just feels like a hood coming over to be able to kind of see that extra halo. Like, you see like angels and churches and stuff, and they have this beautiful golden or white halo over. It's like that. It's exactly like that. That's what your higher self is too, because you're that spirit, you're that essence, you are that. So I see that. So I'm not talking that because that's an alignment. If it's above the head, it's an alignment. But if it's another person or another head that's outside of your head, it's off to the side, then that's not alignment. Something is out of whack here. And I would get so frustrated in meetings because I would see the doubles. And I'm like, something's not right here. Something's not right in alignment. It doesn't mean, though, okay, this is really important, especially for those of you who are just starting to work with your intuition and your spidey senses. This is where it gets confusing. It doesn't mean people are lying. It doesn't mean somebody's lying to you or withholding from you. It could very simply mean that the person is not aware that they're not in alignment. They've been playing into some role for so long that they're playing it so well that they believe it, and it's not true. Or it's a myth, or part of it isn't true, or it's half true, or what have you. But over time, the stories got so interwoven that it just seems like automatic responses. It's like an auto response in the brain. And so what isn't really true becomes true if for that person. So if they were hooked up to a lie detector, they might pass because it's true for them. They actually believe it. or they're just not conscious of the fact that their higher self or their inner voice wants something different than what is. So when I used to meet people in person, I used to meet people in person in my office space. I had an office a couple of different times. It was by my other office when I was working in human resources so that I could leave work and then go and work a little bit in the evenings and stuff, and sometimes on the weekends. So I'd meet people in person. But I would have this experience with people in person too, lovely people, heart-based, the sweetest, wonderful people, and I would meet them and I would have the same experience. I would be telling them things or saying things and reading their energy field and connecting with their higher self. And their higher self will be telling me all sorts of things. And the person will be like, no, that doesn't make sense. No, I don't think so. No, they would just be in such um, personal disconnection from that particular topic or subject that the higher self knows and has the wisdom for, but they're not ready or able to accept that as information or wisdom right now. So it might just be a timing thing. So sometimes then I would see somebody again over time, all of a sudden they'd be like, oh my gosh. So remember what you said when you said this, and this? Yeah, that was right. That was about this, or that was about this. They just weren't making the connection. And it's not really about being right or being wrong, although that's one of my personal themes that I have had to come to acceptance with, that I'm human and I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not going to be right all the time. It's not, that's an ego minded thing. And that does not work in psychic work. And especially right fucking now, let me tell you, because the timelines are so messed up and there are so many people in so many different scenarios that are feeding into a particular person that I might be reading or looking at in the moment. But that story is changing constantly for that person and the other people that are involved, that you can be so like there's a domino effect that happens that you don't recognize, and you can't, because it things are moving so much right now that it is way too hard to be accurate long term. Short term, yeah. Right here, right now, today, yeah, no problem. Probably tomorrow, probably like 3 days ahead. Yes, maybe that, no problem. But there's so much, I'm going to say evolution. I'm going to say it Eva, not Eva. I'm going to say evolution happening, that there's too much up for grabs to be that accurate. So this is probably why prophets like Nostradamus and other, like the oracles of Delphi, right? This is probably why they were broad and general in their things, in their prophecies, because there's so much mindedness that is at play, and the thirst for and the desirous intoxication of the addiction to power is very dominant right now. And it feels like a big arm wrestling match, and the energies are sliding back. That's why we're seeing like a lot of the Christian movement getting really strong in older traditional mentality. We'll just say it that way, or values, right? This is why we're seeing the rise of kind of what looks like the counterbalance to that, which is people being less connected to labels or identification and more fluid and open in that regards in personal perspectives, and then seeking out groups that are also the same. So it's understandable when you see what's going on in the world. So what that means is you and I as empaths, we must be in integrity within our power, which is our heart. Your power center is your heart center. That is how it goes. That is the game plan this year, my friends. This is where we are strong. We are not wrong. We are strong in our heart space. And so when you see or sense someone not in alignment, it doesn't necessarily mean they're lying to you. It doesn't mean they're conscious of the lie. It means they believe it. They really I could do this with public figures right now. They really believe it. What they're saying, they believe it. And then there's a sense of power that grows from the strong confidence of the belief in that. And belief systems then kind of, they can grow or breed because there is that undertone when somebody believes something that really isn't accurate or grounded in an accuracy that is needed to be a truth. What it's grounded in is a sense of power. And power is awesome because it's things like that can bring you a sense of stability and security and and value and worthiness and what everyone is seeking, which is the connection to love. And it's misunderstood or misinterpreted that the grounding in the power base that is built upon the belief system that is not in an accurate framework of integrity or truth, but of pure belief that has been accepted as the core base of what is just accepted as true, but it's not really true. It doesn't matter if it's not true. Do you see? It's what is believed. This is why this is why what you believe about yourself is so mission critical right here, right now, my empathic friends. What you believe about yourself is so important right now. It's so important. And the energy of discernment, of feeling what is true and what is not true, isn't as critical as what you can sense that a person believes as their story, believes as their value system, believes as their personal truth. So truth right now in this chess game that we're playing here, and it feels like that. It does feel like that energetically. You move here, you move here, you move here, offense, defense, that kind of thing, always vigilant. Yeah, that's the empath this year. That's the 2024 empath. That's why we're working on this together. Every week we're doing this stuff, okay, to support you, okay, to shore you up, to ground you in the root of the earth energy, because that's what's true is earth. That's a fact. Earth is here. You are a human. As much as you try to escape your body and do that astral projection stuff or leave in dream state, and I know you're a spirit, but your spirit wants the earth. That's why you're in a body. The spirit wants to be on the earth because the earth is fucking magic. And she's so romantic and sweet and beautiful and moody, just like us. So, personal truth. Truth is very personalized. This is why people get so upset when you question them. Because when somebody reacts, have you heard the term? Somebody said this to me. I had a coach say this to me. I've heard this more than once. Let me just tell you. And I know you might imagine that I might be a little bit stubborn. I know it's hard to believe. Just imagine, just pretend, just a tiny bit stubborn and headstrong and will, right? I have the will. So my brain is smart and it knows. But I have also been told that I think you are protesting too much to this. I think you're having a very strong reaction to this when it's kind of out of place. Why are you reacting so strongly to this? Like you're so resistant. When there's too much resistance, that is where there's wisdom. Oh, yes. There's a lot of wisdom imbued in that resistance. It's like the truth is in there somewhere. Where is it? Instead, I'm just going to get up in arms and freaking out and all sorts of upset or depressed, or I'm going to just disengage and detach. Yeah, that's one of my modus operandis is to detach. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. In fact, I had a friend that once told me I have a switch and you flip the switch and I'm done. And for the last few years, I have not been able to do that. I have really been so interwoven in my heart space and physically in my heart space, right? With my personal physical body healing with my open heart surgery and all that. I mean, that makes sense, right? But prior to that too, my heart has been so open and so open to accepting and connecting with love and what that means for me, that I've been very open and vulnerable in ways that I haven't been before for myself, like by choice, right? And so that resistance piece, when it bubbles up and it's really strong and it's rubbing you really strong, it's because it's creating friction to break free. It's creating friction to let the energy of the wisdom be free. And what is true is wisdom. Wisdom is the truth. You want another word for truth right now? It's wisdom. Wisdom. Yeah, wisdom. You feel that? Mm-hmm. And that's where we are. Hello on the chat. I see you. Nice to see you today. With that, let's connect into our roots at our feet. Let's feel the energy of the earth. I'm wiggling my feet. You can stomp your feet. You can tap your feet. You can rub your feet. Feeling that energy and that wisdom coming up through the root chakra and that friction. Do you feel that? Ooh, now your feet tingle. Reminding you that you are like a tree. You are grounded and centered in this body, in this lifetime. Stay here in this one. You can wiggle and move and notice things and notice people being in other timelines, which isn't actually physically they're in that space. It's that there's part of their energetic field that is, and they are getting lessons and messages and information from another time. It might be from this lifetime, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a past relationship. It might be from future lifetimes when you're going to be that star seed on Andromeda. You know what I'm saying? I mean, legit, anything's possible right now, which then I strongly encourage you as a guide, as a wisdom keeper and bringer and encourager for you to connect you in to the earth energies, into the earth. So rubbing your feet against the ground, having that physical friction and movement, bringing that energy into the body, accepting it, just that simple connection. So go for a walk today outside if you can. That would really help, really strongly help. If that's not your jam or that's not your thing or you physically aren't able to do that, put your feet in some water to help your body connect with that rejuvenation energy, that soothing, held pool of water, not moving water like a bathtub water, just soft, like go get a tubby. If I had one in here, I'd just whip it out and show you my tubbies. That sounded so funny. Fill it with some water and put your feet in it. You know, it can just be a container, a Tupperware container that you have. It's not that complicated, people. Don't make it complicated. Just water, put your feet in, and then let your energy just breathe, breathe, breathe. Let the energy flow, a nice little balance. Moving up the body, going to where it's needed, relaxing into the body, softening the energy. I'm feeling it at my root chakra and the base of my tailbone and my spine. So I'm just going to wiggle myself a little bit and feel that energy at my hips. There's a big meridian at your hips that really helps to balance you. And that's a timeline. If you think about it, the hips is a timeline energy. This is fascinating. Actually, I've never seen this before. The hips is a timeline energy. So too are the shoulders, but they need to be in the same timeline. So you shore that energy up. You shore that energy up. And then the third one that I see is usually at the feet. Nice and balanced, nice and balanced. See that? Okay. Yeah, I can feel it. I can totally feel that energy. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some movement stuff, I think, after this myself. And I encourage you to do that. I've learned a lot from trauma-informed care workshops that I've been in and the certification I have in natural lifemanship back in 2020. I got that. I think I mentioned that before. Sat in classes, lots of classes with other therapists to learn about that. But the rhythmic, repetitive nature of movement really helps the nervous system. And I know that there's popular like TikToks and Instagrams and Facebooks and social media, YouTubes and all that that talk about like somatic movement. And that really is helpful. Somatics, which is the movement of your body, but it's based upon rhythmic, repetitive movement, just like sitting in a rocking chair or rocker glider to help your body just ease the flow, allow it to flow in an easeful way to create a movement that lets the energy kind of break loose and break free instead of just sitting all day long, being stuck in one spot all day long. This is why it's hard to get people to meditate, I think, because it feels like, well, I'm going to be stuck in one spot. Oh, I don't need to do that. I do that all day at my desk kind of thing, you know? But rhythmic repetitive movement or motion really does help. Just gentle motion. Doesn't have to be fabulous. You don't have to hold some fancy tree pose, although those are great if that works for you, but just simple motion helps with emotion. Simple motion helps with emotion. There are so many gems of wisdom in this video. I am really impressed with what has been coming through here on our conversation today on the live stream. So now let's wrap up by saying what the truths are. So at the beginning of this video, I gave you an opportunity to feel into your intuition, your spidey senses, to let you have a sensory experience with me where you could read me. And I shared 3 things related to the rides because of the energy right now. So much cool energy, so much crazy energy, but cool energy too. And I used the theme rides. And I used that it based upon the old game of 2 truths and a lie kind of thing. So to feel into what is true. So I'm going to say them again, and then I'll tell you what is true. Okay, out of these 3 things about me. So I gave you permission to feel into me as I say these things. And I'm going to say them so they'll be right here in front of me energetically. So you don't have to like go in and try to figure it out. Just it'll come right to you. So I'm going to do that. Feel into your body. Use your senses in this safe and sacred space. Okay, bring your intuition forward. Use your heart space, since that's how we're connecting, because we're empaths. You and I are both empaths. So, okay, the theme is rides, and it's about me, and it's about past experiences that I've had or had the opportunity to have. And you get to decide, use your discernment, your intuition to see what is true, what is real, and what is not. So what is true? Oh, excuse me. What is true? What is true? I have ridden in a helicopter. I've ridden in a helicopter. Now you get to feel if that's true. The second one, I have ridden in a police car. I have ridden in a police car. Now feel if that's true. And the last one is, I have ridden in a snowplow. I have ridden in a snowplow. Now feel if that's true. Okay. All right. If you want, you can write your answers in the chat if you think they're true or what's true, etc. So helicopter, police car, and snowplow. That order. Okay, you ready? Here is the truth based upon my human experience. Yes, I have ridden in a helicopter. I may have actually shared that before on Above Life channel. I had the chance to be part of a safety camp with police officers and firefighters and EMS personnel when I worked at one of my first jobs. And I dressed up as Sparky the fire dog because I worked at the fire department at that time as an administrative HR analyst. And so I said, I'll do it. And so I dressed up as Sparky and I flew in on a helicopter, Minnesota State Trooper helicopter. And actually, McGruff, the crime dog, was sitting next to me. And I did not enjoy the helicopter ride. No, thank you. I would not like to do that again. I did not get sick. It was a short ride, but I was like, oh, this sucks. Ooh, not doing that again. So, yes, I've ridden on a helicopter. That was probably in the late 90s, middle 90s, actually, mid 90s. Mid to late, probably 98, something like that. So, number 2, police car. Yes, I have ridden in a police car. Some of you know that my first husband was actually a police officer and is still a licensed peace officer in the state of Minnesota. But I have ridden in a police car. I have went on a ride along more than once, not with him, but with 2 different other departments because I felt like at the time when I was working in those places and I was working in administration and HR and I was going to be hiring for those positions, I thought it would be a good way to connect with the police department and earn their trust and also show some respect for the work that they do. So I did that. So, all right. So yes, I've been in a police car, not because I got in trouble. I know some of you are wondering that. But hey, I'm only in my 50s, so life is young. You never know. Ooh, damn it. Okay. Now, number 3. So those 2 were both true. Okay. Yes, I've ridden in a helicopter. Yes, I've ridden in a police car. Okay. Now the third one, the snowplow. I live in Minnesota, so that's kind of likely, isn't it? The truth is, yes, I have ridden in a snowplow. Again, when I worked at a large county agency, I had to do work and hiring in the transportation department. And I thought that was a good way to earn the respect of the people that were there, is to go on a ride along and see what their jobs are like. So I could understand that, how hard it was, or I could have some kind of relatability when I'm trying to go to job fairs and talk about the job itself. I needed to have that. I felt like experience is a great way to learn, and it's a great way to connect with the human aspect of what just looks like a job description. I still believe that. This is the approach that I take in my life. This is why on Above Life channel and in my private intuitive life coaching and energy work, I really believe in giving experiences, having experiential learning, because that's how you can tell. That's how you know. It's like the ability to practice or to try things out, to apply what you're learning. Practical application of intuition and energy work is essential in order to really know what works for you and the way you want to work in the world as well, and navigating the world. So yeah, I've been in a snowplow. That was, out of all 3 of these, the helicopter was really short, but the snowplow was painful because it really hurt your back riding in a snowplow for the whole, and there was a lot of snow and they had a lot of work to do, and it was hard and it was hot in there. And I mean, they had the radio going and you could kind of get in a Zen vibe, but people try to pass you. And I mean, it's a hard job. It's not an easy job. So that one was probably the hardest, honestly, because in the police, to be fair, when I did both my ride-alongs, they kept it mellow for me, and I didn't do it at night or anything like that. I didn't go on any like lights and sirens. Well, I did do lights and sirens. We pulled some people over. I used the speed machine thing. So yeah, so I had that experience. That was fun, but it was very vanilla. They kept it really chill for me. I mean, they weren't going to put me in any danger, especially because I had to wear a bulletproof vest though. So that was interesting. Luckily my husband at the time had one, so I just wore his. So it was easier because they said that, do you have a vest? I said, well, I can wear one. I have one. Yeah, I'll wear one. So I wouldn't have been on any kind of horrible things, but All right, so there's that. They were all true. So if your intuition was telling you, yeah, 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 you were accurate, you were correct. And I gave you experiences that have already happened so that there'd be more energetic information, there'd be more certainty, yes, yes, yes about it. So that's a good way to practice, you know? Okay. So, all right. Hi in the chat. I see you. Thank you for being here. All right. So, good luck with this interesting week of energy as we step into April 1st. I am I am definitely going to go out for I'm trying to commit to something to do for my body, for my energy. I am going to go for a walk and I'm going to bring my walking stick and my staff and I'm going to walk the land and just connect with the earth. That's what I'm going to commit to doing. So, thank you so much for being here on Above Life Channel. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to being part of your journey. I hope that I can inspire your spirit and fill you with hope. Maybe with one of the sessions or services that I offer, make sure you check it out. I pride myself on having a variety of things at different price points for everyone and to being accessible. Just like this, our Monday videos, these are free, my friends. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. All right. Remember, this is your life. That's yours, and you get to live it. So just live it.